Guy in a suit comes in the pawn shop, got a big set of diamond earrings. Ask him all.
Top Pawn Star scandals. Pawn Stars have been pretty big on television, and like any other hit show, this show also has been associated with scandals of its own. You guessed it right. Today we're discussing the top scandals of Pawn Stars. Number 5. Chumlee's sexual assault case. Austin Russell, better known as Chumlee on the show, was accused of sexual assault towards a female employee in the shop. Chumlee was arrested by police under these charges, but after raiding his house, they found nothing that could back up this charge. However, what the police did find in his house was enough to put Chumlee into new and bigger troubles. The police found bags and bags of weed, illegal weaponry, and other forms of drugs, which got them believing that Chumlee was a drug dealer. But in a statement to police, Chumlee said that he only bought this much weed because of himself smokes a lot. Furthermore, the police couldn't find as such evidence to back up the sexual assault charge, so Chumlee was freed from them. Along with that, his lawyers got him a plea deal, following which Chumlee was onto 3 years of probation but didn't go to jail. 3 years later, all charges were dropped, and Chumlee was freed from the whole thing.
Take a look, 19 drug charges and 1 weapons charge. A lot of people
Number 4. The show is scripted. It doesn't come as a great shock to me that this show is sort of scripted. Looking at how these customers coming into the shop are so comfortable around the camera and don't seem to even notice it says a lot about the show. Most of the customers that come into the shop have to first get their items selected by the manager, Travis Benton, and then they are set up to meet with the producers to negotiate a reasonable price for the item. During this process, the customers are also coached to act on camera. After this process, they are sent to Rick, Austin, or Corey to get their items sold. So much for being a reality show.
From Folsom Prison from around the late 1800s, 1900s.
Number 3. The diamonds. Now, this is more of a scam than a scandal, but still, this was a pretty hard one for the pawn shop owners. A man had come into the shop to sell the diamonds that he had with him. The Harrisons did suspect something wrong, but ignored it when the man convinced them that the diamonds were real. The guys had checked them and even checked the receipt that the man showed them. They paid the guy an amount of $40,000. Later, the police came into the shop and told the owners that the diamonds they had bought for $40,000 had been stolen from a lady. The police took the diamonds with them and left the Harrisons with huge regrets. The show was almost bankrupt after this scandal.
Guy in a suit comes in the pawn shop, got a big set of diamond earrings.
Number 2. Chumlee's bloody brawl. Well, surprise, surprise, Chumlee has made it back into another one of these scandals. On July of 2012, Chumlee was involved in a street brawl along with his friends. Chumlee, with his friends, was hanging on Hollywood Boulevard when a man came up to them and asked them to give him a lift. When the guys refused so, the man threatened to pull a gun out, on which Chumlee and his friends got into a fight with the guy and beat him up to the point where he couldn't stand and had blood all over his face. Then Chumlee and his friends ran away. This whole scene was recorded on a phone by a person standing near. However, Chumlee said that this whole incident was in self-defense, got away with a clean hit. Number 1. The Pawn Stars don't work at the shop. This may come as a surprise to many that the Harrisons and Austin Russell aren't physically there all the time to manage the shop. Instead, a guy named Travis Benton manages the pawn shop, and he is the one who deals with the customers coming in and also chooses the items that should be bought during the working hours. The items are then shown to the producers, and they approve if the item is, quote, TV material. Then the customer is asked to come a few days later to shoot the episode where he is introduced to Rick, Corey, or Chumlee. Before all this, like I mentioned before, the customer is also coached to act on television. So basically, what is shown to us is very far from reality.
Spent most of the weekend paranoid that somebody was out to get him.
Yeah.
TV stars and TV shows have always been pretty scandalous. Pawn Stars is just another one of them. That's all, folks. These are top 5 scandals of Pawn Stars.